Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we're going to be starting our annual reading only queer books for an entire week, and it's going to be our second TBR takedown, or serve as our second TBR takedown for the summer. But before we hop into the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you love all things books. So I have a huge stack of queer reads over there, most of which I just bought, as well as I have a huge selection on my Kindle. Let's just say this week I am trying, the goal would be nice to finish a new queer read each day of the week, although we'll see, because I've got a lot of stuff. Well, I don't have a lot of stuff necessarily to do in between in terms of at work and stuff like that. I just have a lot of videos to edit and put out, and that's a lot of books to make it through. But let's go ahead and look at all the books I have, like physically to go through. This is the current stack. The stack is going to fall on me. But yeah, this is not including everything I have on Kindle, because you know I also read on my Kindle. Also, just got the hair touched up. What do we think? We have Like We Were in Paris by Stephen Lee, A Little Bit Country by Brian D. Kennedy, A British Girl's Guide to Hurricanes and Heartbreaks, and that one's from Laura Taylor Namey. And then My Roommate from Hell by Kel Dietrich. 1 Week to Win the Chocolate Maker by Timothy Janowski. All Hell Chaos by Sarah Reese Brennan. Wish You Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin. And then Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Frida Abike Ayamide. So we have books from authors that I've read from before and enjoyed, and some books by authors I haven't read from. We have a lot of YA, we have a little fantasy, we have a lot of romance, and then we have a little bit of mystery thriller thrown in there. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to pick up first, because a lot of these are calling my name and I'm kind of in a reading mood, and I'm particularly in a summer romance mood. So I think for this video we're going to prioritize picking up and reading through the summer romances on this list, or as many summer romances as possible. So I will say probably All Hell Chaos and Where Sleeping Girls Lie probably will be put to the wayside. But if I have time at the end of the week and I've blown through all the others, then I will, give you some thoughts. But these may be more fall queer reads for me. And in terms of the one that I want to start first, I don't know. I don't know. Like We Were in Paris is giving Heartstopper Volume 3 vibes, so this one is definitely up there. But also we have Wish You Weren't Here, which is a sapphic summer camp, and I feel like that would be perfect to kick off like summer queer romances, so I don't know. But all the others are also looking pretty good in my opinion. So I'm probably going to officially start or kick off the vlog tomorrow, Monday, June 15th, and we'll run through Sunday of next week, especially since I also have Friday off this week, so we'll have some more free time to read. But I'll let y'all know once I've picked out the book and actually started the one that I'm going to kick off this reading vlog with. It is Monday evening. It is 7 o'clock at night. I did spend the majority of the day editing my Olivia Rodrigo reaction videos, so I did not get that much reading done. The first book we started for the vlog is Like We Were in Paris by Stephen Lee. Like I said, this is the book that gave me the vibes of Heartstopper Volume 3. If you don't know anything about Heartstopper Volume 3, Charlie and Nick and all of their friends and classmates go on a class trip to Paris. And the idea of this book is we are following Ben and what is his name? Tyler. We're following Ben and Tyler, who were childhood friends up until Ben went through a big family tragedy. Tyler moved away, but Tyler came back recently. The only problem is that Tyler has seemingly forgotten that Ben ever existed and that they were ever friends. So Ben's kind of salty, but both of these two are in the French club. They're kind of big nerds, even though Tyler's more of a closet nerd because now he's this big, jock character, and Ben just seems to despise him, plus Ben just went through a pretty bad breakup. So yeah, Ben's got this list of everything he wants to do while he's in Paris. However, after he and Tyler both get locked out of the hostel that they're supposed to be staying in for the night, Tyler proposes that they get to spend one magical night or one long night exploring Paris at midnight. And of course, Ben, being the goody two-shoes that he is, he's like, I don't know about this, and also I don't know about spending with you because you've kind of treated me shittily ever since you got back, and you're also maybe possibly kind of the reason that my relationship fell apart, even though you don't know and that it's not technically your fault. All those sort of things. But yeah, so far it's, I don't know if it's a 5-star read, but it sure is a fun read. Like We Were in Paris, we have our character of Ben as a huge Swiftie. Like, Taylor Swift does play a big role in this. Like, when we first meet him, he's wearing a friendship bracelet with his favorite song, Enchanted, on it. Like, you know, Enchanted, Paris, all that. So it's going to be one magical, enchanting night. I will say I assume it's going to be a little insta-lovey, just given that it's a one singular night in Paris that they fall in love. But so far it's addictive. It's a very sweet, very cute, very wholesome read, and we need some really cute, wholesome queer reads out there, and I'm having fun. I'm on page 102, and there are 287 pages of the book, so I'm already over a third of the way through. She's pretty quick read. I don't know that I'll finish it tonight, however, I am addicted to it, and I have about 2 more hours before I really need to be in bed. Although I might go to bed early tonight because I was kind of up late last night trying to finish another book that I was in the middle of. And that book just, let's just say the ending of that book, which you'll find out in my reading wrap-up. Ooh. At least I know in this cute little YA romance, theoretically, hopefully, they can't kill off my favorite character. Yay. But yeah, it's Tuesday night, or at 6:30 p.m., and we did finish a book today. And also, if you hear the fan on, that is because it is on. And normally I could turn it off, but I didn't feel like it right now, because I want to strap in and read, and yeah. So I finished Like We Were in Paris by Stephanie. I ended up giving it 3.75 stars. This is a very short, very cutesy, very wholesome, quick read. It does touch on some hard topics, like with loss of loved ones and, like, you know, homophobia, particularly from a parental figure, and bullying and so on and so forth. And, like, sort of the ins and outs of what it means to be queer, but the intersectionality of being queer and BIPOC and, like, being queer and gender nonconforming and all that. So there's a lot going on in here. And I think it's definitely a book I would recommend, especially because I feel like I always want something that kind of gives the very cutesy, giddy feelings that Heartstopper invokes. And like I said, this is definitely giving a little hint at Heartstopper Book 3. I will say, Heartstopper Forever trailer came out today. All I know is that Heartstopper Volume 6 needs to be in my hands like tomorrow, but I know it's not coming out until at least a couple weeks from now. But yeah. I think the thing that docked this for me, one, it was a very cute read. It very much so leaned on the intersection of being a Swiftie and a Disney kid. So if you are those two people and you enjoy reading from the mind of a fanboy, then definitely that. But I feel like if you're going to do childhood friends to lovers, I want a little bit more of the then and now build up, because focusing a lot on the now doesn't necessarily tell me a lot about, like, what was going on when you were a child or children. And then also, like, it is a love story that takes place in the span of a singular night. So I would have liked maybe us getting to dip a little bit more into the aftermath of that singular night. But hey, it's very cutesy, very sweet read. I would recommend, like I said, for my Swifties and my Disney kids, this one's for you. I also think this book would have read better and would have been a much better experience. Not that it was a bad experience. It would have been prime if I was listening to the Taylor Swift songs that were actively mentioned in here, like Paris, Enchanted, and Style, and maybe some of, like, the Disney songs that were brought up in here, because I feel like that would have been peak listening and reading experience. So if you do choose to read it, maybe find a playlist for it, because I think that would be optimal reading experience. And now I have our next book picked out for the readathon, and that's Wish You Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin. It's a sapphic rivals lovers summer camp story. I've only read the synopsis, but I haven't delved into this book. But I am in the summer romance mood, so it definitely sounds like it's going to be fun. But yeah, I really don't know where we're gonna go with it. But it sounds like it'll be. It says all's fair in love and color war, so there's obviously going to be a color war in here. But I'm about to strap in for the night and maybe read a little bit of this. And then I don't know if I'll finish it tomorrow, but that is the goal, to read through this tomorrow, because it's less than 300 pages. And then we can pick up another book after that. It is a Wednesday night. It's just after 7. I am now, let's see, 222 pages in to a 297 page sapphic summer camp romance, and this one has me laughing, kicking, giggling, all sorts of things. I think I told you this. So we are following Juliet and Priya. Juliet and Priya, it's a dislike to lovers, but really it's kind of like Juliet and Priya have always been stuck in each other's orbit. However, because of their differing personalities and just like Priya basically being the socialite, people pleaser, everyone likes her, and Juliet always feeling like she's sort of, you know, the too intense, too much, the one that people don't generally like and that she can't really show her true self kind of person. They always kind of feel like they've been at a stalemate and or a detente where there's that underlying tension of like, I'm not sure how I like you, but there's been never really any major like craziness going on between them. But Juliet's one happy place in the world where she truly feels like she can be herself and where she is the star is at camp. And she is going to her last summer camp as a camper. It's her 17th year on this planet. She's turning 17 this summer. The only problem is that when she shows up to camp, she finds out that not only is she sharing her bunk, the one that she was promised a private bunk, the only caveat is she'd have a mentee staying with her. Not only is she sharing her bunk with Priya, now she and Priya also have to, through strange events and circumstances, be stuck together in basically most of the same classes all summer long. And Juliet starts to realize that this little tiff that she seems to have with Priya, that she thinks exists between her and Priya, may not be so antagonistic as she thought. And in fact, there might be a little bit of a crush brewing. And it has all the cutesy, fun, little, like, summer camp things. Like, you know, there's the outdoor activities, there's color war, there's, you know, camp counselors, fun names, all that fun things. Like, you know, camping, roasting marshmallows. And it's just... it's interesting because it's very much so a grumpy sunshine dynamic of Priya being the sunshine and Juliet, the character we're reading from, being the grumpy. And yeah, and then there is this one, as someone who was a summer camp counselor, there's this one counselor in here who I'm not a huge fan of because I know Juliet wasn't necessarily giving like great vibes, didn't get off to a good start with the new counselor, but this counselor is just making me mad. Because I'm like, surely you can put your ego aside. But I don't know. I assume things will get resolved. But we we are a good chunk of the way through the book, and we haven't had our first kiss yet. So I know it's going to be a bit of a slow burn situation, but I'm very happy. I'm very excited. This is exactly what I needed. And I'm probably going to try and finish this tonight because why not? And then I have my stack of books in front of me, and I'm just not sure where I want to go with the next read. I feel like since we read 2 back-to-back YA books, I should probably pick the adult book, but oh well. So if you see me again tonight, if I choose to update you once I finish this book tonight, then, you know, that's why. If not, you'll probably see me tomorrow morning and we'll go over my final thoughts and our next book on the list. Good morning. It is Thursday at, the morning voice, 6:49 a.m. If you can't tell by the voice, and just my general demeanor, I woke up this morning and I think my allergies are definitely having a heyday today because my desire to move and get up is quite a very, very low right now. But I did finish Wish You Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin last night. By the end of it, I was tearing up. Was it a full-on sob? No, but was it tears in my eyes? Because this book is dealing heavily with the fact that this is her last summer at camp as a camper. And sort of, you know, those bittersweet endings that it comes when you know that the ending of something really good is coming. Even if you know new beginnings are coming, you're reminiscing on the past. And I kind of, at least for the last few days, kind of been in my high school nostalgic feels. So this definitely hit a little bit there. Plus, I think the romance between these two was quite fun and cute. I guess you could say there was a third act breakup conflict situation, but it wasn't enough of a situation where I'm like, yes, this is annoying. So yeah, 5 stars. 5 stars. I'm so glad I technically have 2 5-star sapphic reads now.
You know what? This year my goal was to find and read more sapphic books, particularly 5-star sapphic books. And this one fit the bill, and it is definitely fun for summer. Now, I will say, given my current state of being and the fact that my allergies seem to be kicking my ass and making me want to fall straight back asleep, but seeing as my boss is out of the office today and I'm going to be the only one there, someone has to be there to man the door, even though who's really coming to campus in the middle of summer? Who knows? I'm just going to say I don't know how much drive or desire I will have to read today. Or do a whole heck of a lot. But I think the next book we're going to pick up is 1 Week to Win the Chocolate Maker by Timothy Janoski. You know I love this author, especially when it comes to queer rom-coms, although I know he always weaves in an element of mental health representation and some sort of deeper commentary on our characters. And it's always a toss-up on whether it's going to be super spicy or no spice at all. So I guess we'll find out when I read it. But I know it's Marriage of Convenience. If it's 1 week, then I'm assuming it's going to be a little insta-lovey. And I know all of his books have a third act breakup. So we'll see where it leads. But he's written some of my favorite queer books before. And I'm excited to pick it up. Whether I'll get that far into it today, given my current state of being, I don't know. But on the bright side, 3-day weekend starting tomorrow. So if anything, I can laze around in bed all day tomorrow and just read my book. So yeah, I'll see y'all maybe later tonight, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Hello, it is Thursday evening, 6 o'clock. It's 6:01. And I managed to make it through 70 pages, 6 chapters of 1 Week to Win the Chocolate Maker. So this is a queer Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. No, Willy Wonka. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory sort of retelling. So we have the characters of Charlie and Dario. So Dario is the heir apparent to this big chocolate empire in Italy. And when his grandfather passes away, he thinks he's going to just be handed over the company because why wouldn't he? However, his grandfather puts a stipulation in the will basically saying you only have temporary custody and you will only gain full custody of the company if you find the love of your life and marry within the year. And Dario's like, excuse me? Because his grandfather's like, well, chocolate itself is best made with love. And the whole company itself was founded by his great-grandparents falling in love. And Dario's like, well, what am I going to do now? I want the company. I'm not giving it to my, bum of a little brother. And then his grandfather has put in place basically the golden ticket, people who read the text or the note on the chocolate bars when they unwrap it, they can enter an online contest where they basically submit a 1,000-word essay saying what love means to them or what chocolate, something about love and chocolate is all I know. And our other character, Charlie, comes from a small, rundown Pennsylvania mining town, and his family's home is about to be foreclosed on. And he's like, well, if I win this contest and marry a billionaire, hopefully my family's home won't be foreclosed on and my parents and I won't be living on the streets. And Charlie gets chosen to be one of the 5 people who go to Italy to woo Dario. And as of right now, there has been interaction between Charlie and Dario. However, I'm waiting for a little more in-depth conversation between the two, because both are dealing with some hard stuff, and while both are having an easy flow of conversation between each other, it's still only day 2 of this situation, and neither of them has really gotten to the super, super hard stuff. They've gotten a little bit under the surface, but they've not quite gotten there yet. And I am interested to see how it goes forth. And the one thing about Timothy Janoski, like I said, he's going to have mental health rep, and our character of Dario is, in fact, dealing with agoraphobia. So yeah, but the discussion particularly around love and love for your grandparents, it's hitting a little too close to home because my mama, who I consider my person in this world, she passed away just over a year ago, and let's just say reading the first 6 chapters of this book was making me feel some things. However, like I told you this morning, I have not been feeling the hottest today, so I'm probably going to call it an early night. Probably going to fall asleep within the next hour or 2, which, fair enough. At least I have a 3-day weekend. But it's also supposed to start pissing down the rain. So at least it'll be great ambiance for a little quick reading before I fall asleep situation. But I'm probably going to try and pick this up and read this tomorrow. And then we'll pick the next read, which I'm not sure where I'm feeling like going. I'm sure it'll be set by the rainy vibes, what I'm feeling, but that's where we're at right now. All right, so it is Saturday around noon. I didn't update you yesterday. It was Juneteenth, so campus was closed, obviously, for federal holiday. And one, I was having a bit of a bed rot day, but two, also, I've been dealing with some pretty heavy headaches. Well, so I'm pretty sure they're sinus headaches, so I need to do something to address my allergies, but it is midsummer, and I live in literally the #1 allergy-infested state and area in the U.S., so I don't know that that's going to help me. But I will say, if you hear the lawnmower start up soon, my dad seems to be on a generational run right now, because I've never seen this man dedicated to his weekly lawn mowing sessions, and it's been interrupting every video that I've tried to film for the last few weeks. But I am determined to finish this book today, 1 Week to Win the Chocolate Maker. Obviously, I told you what it was about, I feel like, the last time I updated you on this book, but we are on page 190. So we're pretty much 2/3 of the way through the book, and we've got a feelings realization. We've had a spicy little moment. I will say, between the two, I mean, Charlie's pretty open about himself, or is trying his best to be open with Dario, however you want to refer to him. But Dario definitely is being a little more reserved. Like, I want them to really start communicating, particularly, I mean, about, like, Dario's mental health issues and sort of giving Charlie some context. But Charlie's being very nice and very helpful and very understanding of all these things. Like, I'm enjoying the read, and it's definitely a very good, mature read. Like, if you're looking for a mature romance, even though it's a romance that kind of insta-lovey, because it is a romance that takes place over relatively a few days, I think this one is definitely going to be up your alley. Right now, it definitely is feeling in that 4-star-ish range, but I'm wondering how the ending goes, because Timothy and Janoski endings can go one of two ways. They can either make me go, oh my god, I am so swooning, heartwarming, or I'd be like, oh wow, it took you that long? Oh well. But I'm assuming there's a 3rd act breakup coming at some point today, but I am in need of getting ready because it's my dad's birthday / Father's Day dinner tonight, so I am about to put makeup on and maybe film or pre-film some things for tomorrow so I can spread it out over a few days, and then I'll update y'all when I finish this book. And I don't know if we'll start another book before this video is up, because technically I was going to end this vlog tomorrow, but maybe I'll give you a hint as to the book that I'm going to pick up next. Alright, so it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have finished 1 Week to Win the Chocolate Maker. Literally just finished it over there on my bed and have walked over here to give you final thoughts. Is that a good amount of time to actually have final thoughts? Maybe not. I know that I'm going to give it a 1.5 on the chili spice rating. In terms of my overall rating, probably, I think I'm going to settle on a 4.25. 4.25. She was fun. I enjoyed that there was no major 3rd act breakup, and that really the whole conflict was, you know, getting to see Dario work through his mental health issues and sort of seeing each other bring out the best in each other and bring out being the calm, safe space that they were both looking for, that they didn't know they quite needed. Like, it was just very cute. I will say the whole added, like, contest of, like, finding my future spouse situation was a bit, like, frustrating at times, because, like, oh, Dario's out here entertaining other people, even though we know that he absolutely likes Charlie and that Charlie is the end game. But hey, 4.25 stars, let's say 1.5 chili spice. I thought this was a fun time. Now, I have basically about 24 hours left of this to finish, and I'm sure, well, we leave for, you know, the dinner in about an hour, hour and a half, but I'm sure the wait list, because it always takes forever to get through that, is going to be a little while, so I'm sure I'm going to want to have something to read between now and then, and while we're waiting. I'm just trying to think of which of the queer reads I want to have ready to go. I think just so we did 2 YAs, 1 sapphic, 1 gay, and then we did an adult, which was gay. Now this is still gay men, but it's kind of a bit of that fantastical element that we haven't quite touched on this week, because my roommate from hell is following the devil's son himself, basically raising hell on college and at college and for his college roommate. So yeah, this sounds like it's going to be a fun time. It's also a YA novel. It's the first novel in here that's actually over 300 something pages. But looking at the font, well, actually the font's kind of small, so she might take a little longer to get through. Will I finish this before I close out this video tomorrow? Probably not. But you know what? I think it'd be fun to start, and it's been one that I've been eyeing up for a little bit. So I'll see y'all when I have some more thoughts or when I'm wrapping this up tomorrow.
Alright, it is Sunday. We are officially at the end of this reading vlog. And I did make it about a third of the way through My Roommate from Hell by Cale Dietrich last night. Now, is there a chance I could finish this today? Maybe. But it's more likely that I'm going to finish it tomorrow, Tuesday. So I'll give you a brief, idea of what we've read so far. So in this book, we are following Owen, who is essentially a very much so, very introverted, very much so nerdy gamer kid who is determined to go to college and get a good job, and he just wants to lock in and do everything right. But unbeknownst to him, when he shows up to his first day on campus to find out that his new roommate is in fact the Prince of Hell, and now Owen is essentially the first ever human to have to learn to cohabitate with the demons that I just recently discovered are real. And, the dean basically tells him, hey, if you can make this exchange program look good and show that it is possible for demons and humans to work together, I have an internship waiting for you. And Owen's like, cool, great. I mean, he's not all that bad. Zarminus, what could go wrong? And Zarminus, while he is a demon and there's lots of crazy, kooky things that keep happening, there's nothing inherently bad about his character other than the fact that he's just not a good roommate. He's messy, he always has hookups coming back to the place. He just doesn't quite know how to be a human and be an average human because he grew up a prince. However, the whole premise on the back of the book, even though it doesn't come in until a third of the way through, is that Zarminus, due to all of his shenanigans, has pissed off his father, and Zarminus is like, to save my image, I will lie and say that Owen and I are dating because my dad likes Owen. And Owen's like, excuse me? And that's where we are now. I will say, it kind of made it seem like Zarminus was going to be a little bit more cocky, kooky, crazy in the back of the book. But Zarminus out here, he just seems like a little puppy dog. And while Owen is out here I'll just give him another chance even though he's driving me up a freaking wall, Zarminus over here is just like a little baby golden retriever puppy dog. Every time that Owen gets mad at him or points something out, he's got these puppy dog eyes like he's so sad and offended that he could hurt someone. Because all Zarminus is doing throughout this entire book so far is protecting Owen from the creeps who want to kill, the Prince of Hell. And he's basically hyping Owen up and wanting to hang out with Owen. And the cutest little thing, he brings Owen a matcha latte every morning. Every morning. He's like, is he the world's greatest roommate? No. Does Owen need to learn how to use confrontation and learn how to talk and communicate? Yes. But you know what? Owen's Owen's basically the Prince of Hell is objectively hot, but I've been down this road falling for unattainable boys before, and I'm just gonna say it seems like Zarminus has a thing. I'm just saying. But you know what? Yeah. If I happen to finish this before I finish editing this vlog, I will leave the rating on the screen. Otherwise, you will have to wait for my June reading wrap-up, which will come in 2 weeks. But that is the end of the reading vlog. We had some highs and lows in this reading vlog. I feel like we had some pretty good, fun, cutesy reads with We Were in Paris, some really more mature read in 1 Week to Win the Chocolate Maker, and we had a 5-star read in Wish You Weren't Here. And while I will say my general thoughts on this right now, My Roommate from Hell, while I don't think it's going to be a 5-star, I sat down and this shit is addictive. It's very fast-paced and addictive, so who knows? But let me know what you've been reading during Pride Month. What are your top queer reads of the year so far? And I will see y'all in the next one.